we go. We'll get my Hey, hello guys. Hi Faisal. Thank you. Hi Saif. How are you? Hi Anto. I have my little torch to light my candle. The best lighter. Okay. There we are. All my candles. Hi Ashwani. Good morning. Hi Kendall. How are you? I'm doing a little work session today, hence me getting on a little bit earlier than I have been. I have some things to get done, and I was like, you know what? I'm in my office. I'm sitting here anyway. I might as well go live in the process and chat with you guys in between here. So here we are. And then in about an hour, when the countdown is done, hi Ashwani. Yes, I know. I'll be back tomorrow though too. So 2 days in a row you have me so far, then three tomorrow. What's we do today? This guy. I'd love to, guys. It's nice to see you. Okay. So I'm gonna make a little to-do list of what I have to do today. Hey Guru, how are you? Thank you, thank you. Hi Bastier. Bastier, hello. Let's see, I have to do 42. Thank you, Anto. I appreciate that. There we go. Good. My timer actually stayed. I'm glad. Hi, Vasquez. Or Vasquez? Vasquez? Vasquez. Yes, good night to you. Yes, I am very white. I know. Especially when I wear black, it makes it even worse. Hey, Carlos, how are you? I'm doing good. No, not where I am. No sun in sight. That's why I'm so pale. I live on the moon. Let's see. Let me bring up this. No, not Finland. I think my accent gives me away, no? Where do you think based on my accent? Oh, you're in Finland. That's right. That's right, Carlos. That's so funny. Yes, we have a little bit about everything here. Thank you, Barrister. Ireland is genetically where I'm from, but my accent is not one of an Irish person. I know. Especially like here, like under my arm, it's even worse. Let's see. So I have to do 42. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Thank you, Anto. This is the Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Thank you for the flowers, Ashwani. I appreciate that. But yeah, I have a bunch of admin stuff that I need to get done, so I hopped on a little early usually. And what I was doing yesterday is reading from my Oracle deck, or I have these animal tarot cards. So after the hour's up, I will have you guys pick one of the decks that you want me to read from, and you could choose an animal or choose a number. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. Finglish, there you go. Oh my gosh, yes. I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. I wouldn't even know. Oh, nice. Thank you, Jenny. I love that. Okay, so that is for yesterday. So we can get rid of that. That's for today. I'll need that for later. Um, I don't know who that is. Yeah. Ship was user error, couldn't make nothing. I don't know what you mean. I'm a truck driver. Will you marry me? I am married. But I'm sure there are plenty of people on the road that you will find that would love to accept that offer. 20. There you go. When are you going to have a live about astrology maps again? On Saturday, actually, this Saturday. What do I need help with, Jenny? I just let the chat do its thing while I'm working in between. And then because I'm doing the co-working live, and then in an hour I will do the readings. Hi, ASMR. Hi, Cody. Welcome. I'm good. How's it going? Hey, Esmet. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Palak. Let's see. Oh, speak book. Yeah, there's always creepy people. Welcome to the live. There you go. The nature of YouTube. There we go. You guys are so funny. See how the ashes fall where they may. Sounds good, Ashwani. Enjoy. Hey, Gullik. Hello, hello. Hi from Dubai. Hey, Salman. Hi, Amma. Hi, Abasi. How are you? Yeah, the painting behind me is an old Italian Renaissance painting called The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Hey, Mighty. Hi, Rita. Welcome. I'm good. How is you? Why is that not listed? I'm from the US. Where are you from? You're outside my house. There you go. I'm a professional astrologer and I do business development, strategy, and sales. Can you hear me now, Tejas? How are you? I know, girl. The nature of being on live. Thank you. Sending some weird vibes your way. I love that. Sending some weird energy your way from Kazakhstan. I love that. Sending it right back from the US. Weird vibes only. Um, Forgot to flip this over actually. Thank you, Rita. They don't light incense stick with bamboo. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think this is bamboo though. New York, yes. Commerce student or art student. I was an art student, but then I turned to a commerce student. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Hey, Ayush. Hey, Abhishek. How are you? $39, $39, $39. Point what? Point what? Three. Management, exactly. Thank you, Michelle. Hello. Right now, I'm working on data entry and some content outlines too. Yeah, New York City is great. Thank you. Yes, I have a oil treatment in it right now. Tonight is hair wash night. So you choose commerce. What are you doing in this field now? Oh, so I own my own business. What kind of commerce do you do? Depends on the industry, too. Commerce can be so many different things. Nice, Ashley. I love that. Yesterday we had a bonfire outside because of the holiday. Chartered accountancy course. That sounds interesting. Is that I assume that's what we would just say is accounting here in the US, no? Hey Jenny. Hi Rohit. I am. Today is the 29th. It's Friday. Okay. Hi, Dens. How are you? Oh, struggling with physics. I never had to take physics in school. Hi, Jenny. Yes, you're so sweet. Yeah, Rita, sure. Um, I never had to take physics in school, so I do not envy you. I would, if I had to, I would do it now, but I don't know. I would probably get like a B minus, C plus. Who knows though? If it was the only class I was taking, I probably could be a little bit better at it, but not always easy. I know how important grades are for most people, but especially in India, Asian cultures, for you guys too. There's a lot of pressure on you guys. A lot of my folks that are in here from India or different parts of Asia, you guys are stressing for sure. Hi, Vishal. We're do until the 31st. Did I put June in here? I don't know if I put June in here. I did. Nice. Oh wow. Interesting. Okay. Um, there we go. Oh, it didn't. What do you mean, commerce woman? Like, in what way? Like, we don't say commerce isn't a word that we use in the US. Like, it is, but not when it comes to like a commerce woman doesn't translate properly. No, I'm just fair. Oh, Morocco. How cool. I love that. What time is it there? It is 12 in the afternoon. 12:23. Hey, Samson. Dad's a private contractor. It's a pain. Yeah, I can imagine. My dad used to work in New York City and he would be up and he would leave the house at like 4:30 in the morning and he wouldn't come home until like 4:30 at night. Oh, you're sweet. Oh, Houston. Yeah, that's so cool. I know. What is that Latino, Ricardo? Mi esposo es, what do I say? Mi esposo es cubano. I do. I have a cat. His name is Benny. He's upstairs sleeping now, though. I'm good, Samson. How are you? Yeah, kill your loved ones. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's a crazy username. Yeah, so I'm brown, but Snow White is like you. That is true, Ricardo. Although Dominicans can have a wide variety. Some Dominicans can almost look like me. Hello, Shy. How are you? Let's see. Pedro. I know. My Adam's apple. Thank you. I put it on specially for this live. I do un poco. Oh, Ruhi, you're the pilot. Okay, yes. There's two pilots that have been in here. Um, let's see. Hey, Vizzy, can I go for a girl who has mixed signals because I love her? It depends. I mean, it depends on how old you are. I think that if you have time, and you're not looking to settle down right away, maybe. Um, I don't know. I don't waste time on people who give me mixed signals. I don't have the patience for it, to be honest. So I have too much self-worth. I approached her, she rejected me, then smiled at me, crush well, yeah, shy. So more so she was just like, hey physics, being kind, like because people can reject you, but I think the common misconception that people face is that they assume that like being rejected means that people have to be mean to you. But yeah, you think a lot. I understand. Hey alien. But thank you for success, you too. Okay, I did say that out loud. Um, Thank you, Aki. Where'd I get the fragrance stick? I got it at a local shop. A lot of local like metaphysical stores will sell them too. But yeah, I think that people also have that misconception about when they break up with somebody, they think that it has to be that something like dramatic and upsetting, but that doesn't always have to be the case. You can like amicably, kindly break up with somebody. I don't know. Okay. The dollar store. There you go. I got it at the dollar store. I just saw that now, Pedro. Pull like my hair is 4 feet. Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't cut your hair. If it's healthy, oh my gosh, I wish I could grow my hair 4 feet long. I have to pay a lot of money for my hair to be 4 feet long. I have to buy hair for that to happen. But yeah, long hair is so beautiful. It's a sign of good health. 30, wait, 29, 29, 29. I'm gonna forget that. Flip this guy over again. Hi, Star. Are you a millionaire? You're trying to be a millionaire. It's so funny. I don't know. Do aliens believe in money? Maybe Vizzy. Who may alien styles be? Let's take a guess. Yeah, you got your new blankets, Benny. Aw, thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Adnan. Thank you, thank you. That makes sense. Oh. 11. Thank you, Samuel. Good day, mate. Thank you, Alien. Yeah, I have contact lenses, but not colored contact lenses. My eyes are this color. What the heck? The countdown is for when I'm finished my first working stint. Yes, Vizzy, welcome to YouTube Live. It's every time. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a less of a rogue one, but that's the way that we are here for whatever reason. This is The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. The bottom of the mod bot. There you go. Yeah, sounds about right. Benny, you want me to open the window for you? Please. Okay. I can mute them. Yeah, there you go. That's okay. You will convert me into Islam? I don't think so, but nice try. What would be a good incentive for me to convert to Islam? What's the benefit of being Muslim? Really want to focus on studies. I feel like it's challenging, at least here, it's the end of the school year. So The end of the school year is always, hi, son, how are you? End of the school year, it's always hard to focus. It really is. Thank you. Hi, Bafan. How are you? Nice to see you 2 days in a row. Hello, hello. Yes, my mobile phone. Thank you. On what is it? Ananya? Ananya? I think so. West Bengal. Cool. Yeah, it's already, I think is it past midnight for you guys? I think I'm talking to you. You guys are in the future and I'm in the past. I'm talking to you from yesterday. I am always so childish. Life's more fun that way. I know of it, but I've never been. I couldn't point it out on a map per se. I am working. That's what the countdown is for until I could take a break. Thank you, fan. Hello, hello. Nice. I know. Women have to be careful no matter where they go. Same thing as New York City. No matter where. I know. She meant guys. I'm pretty sure. Maybe she meant gays. Either way. I doom scrolling. Well, I can't doom scroll if I'm not on my phone. I would love to see the Taj Mahal one day, but we shall see. I mean, I would never travel alone. I explode when my time is up. No, I'll be able to take a break, get a snack, walk around. Happy birthday. You think so? I mean, I think it's worth it to go to once, but I don't know. A lot of you guys that are younger than me are pessimistic about the world, so I don't know if I can necessarily trust your judgment. I would have to really plan. I have a couple friends that are from India that were born there, so I would ask them for the perfect itinerary. But it's like how when I like being a New Yorker for hey sidewalk, how are you? Likewise, hey Perry. Hi Paxton. I wouldn't tell people to go to Times Square. Like you go to Times Square like once if you've never been before, but you're kind of like, okay, cool. And then you leave because there's plenty of other more interesting things and good places to go in New York City besides Times Square. Tuesday's good. Yes, Benny's my cat's name. Oh, the 29th. Yes, that's so nice. Here he is. I'll show you. This is his view of the day. Yeah, Times Square is fine. Like, it's cool to go and experience once. Like, you just kind of get the energy of New York City, but it's not like there's really nothing to do to hang out there, you know? How like, um, you know, Uzbekistan, that sounds cool. Yeah, there's so many places I would love to go. I'm a big Anthony Bourdain fan. Rest in peace. Um, so he really influenced like my love of travel or wanting to travel growing up. And my grandmother traveled a lot. She brought my family around to many different places, which I'm very grateful for. Mm. Oh, okay, I understand. Central Park is beautiful. I love Central Park. Hey, Peter. I know. I don't like to hold my phone and talk at the same time. It's too like I'm too distracted. I like to listen to my music when I'm outside walking around. Like it's just more peaceful for me, not on live. Oh, Eastern Europe. Yes, exactly. But it is a beautiful day. Cashmere beautiful just creeps. Yeah, even yeah. That's the thing. Like there are creeps no matter where you go in the world. And maybe in statistically higher percentages, yes. But, you know, I it's that's when people were arguing in the comments yesterday about like an American's perspective on India, and I'm like, you yes, there are places that are bad and everywhere in the world, but there are obviously places that are dealing with harder things than we're all able to sit on our phones together and have a moment on the internet, you know. So relatively speaking, we're okay. Yeah, exactly. If I can avoid a nature, exactly. Yeah, I have my door open, my Benny boy by the door. My name means raven-haired warrior. It's an English American or anglicized version of a Celtic name. Um, I believe Branagh, Brannagh, but it means raven-haired warrior or raven-haired. So a little bit of both. That's why you can't be mod. You have the same disposition as Siddharth too. My opinion on veganism, I don't mind it. I think that it's very challenging to be vegan. In America at least, like it's our culture isn't exactly always conducive to being a healthy vegan. I think that there are a lot of everyone that I know that's a vegan in America that cooks their own food usually makes a lot of Indian dishes, like different variations of chana dal and things like that. Yeah. You have to not be so offended by what other people do and what they ask. It's not good. What does it matter, you know? I've never been to Australia, but I would love to go. The library book. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I'm gonna add that to my Fable app. I'm gonna write it down. Wait, the library book. I just wrote it down. We need to eat meat to survive. Yeah, I mean, I feel better when I eat protein. My body really loves protein, before it even loves carbs. So they also say that veganism depends on your blood type. Um, so that can help. I knew somebody that was I was just talking to recently that was vegetarian, but she got sick because she was trying to stay vegetarian, but her like her um hormones and her what's the word? Like iron in her blood weren't doing well. To heal. Oh, that's nice, Ghost. I love that. Yeah, yeah, like the vegan teacher. It's true. Yes, my slick black bun, the slick back trend. I have an oil treatment in my hair, so yes, warrior. That is true. The Heaven and Earth grocery store. That sounds good. Let me know how it is. Be driving. Okay, Anto, drive safely. Hi, May. How are you? Yes, I remember you. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I'm finishing reading Wuthering Heights right now, which is pretty good, but it's just kind of hard to read. I don't really like older books that are written in like older English. They just prove themselves to be a little challenging, and I don't like to put that much effort into like decoding. Um, Vito, hello, hello. Isn't eating meat the same thing as cannibalism? No, because cannibalism is the definition of cannibalism is eating the same thing as you are, right? I don't know. Is the cooking channel? I wish. You look like a boiled egg? I doubt that. I doubt that. Yeah, exactly. May Busy outed himself the second you came in. Especially because Busy, your thing is Sean's soul, but your thing is still a V. Orwell binge. Oh, yes, I read Animal Farm in school, and they also had us read 1984 in school. I remember a little bit of it, but like I I should go back and read it again. It is banned in some places, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, he doesn't do Hollywood endings, exactly. I have to be, like, in the right headspace for it. Happen to know anything about uploading YouTube Shorts with editing? I happen to do the basics on my own. Hey, Rue. Um, so uploading with YouTube Shorts, like, I usually use CapCut, but, if I do edit at all, usually I'm just editing right in the app. Like, I'll text right in the app, thing or type right in the app, things like that. So it depends on, like, what types of videos you're trying to make because the editing style will be different depending on the type of content that you're making. Do you feel the advancement of technology will with next generations with ADHD will affect next generations with ADHD and eventually result in social isolation and people will stop having kids? I don't think that I think that's already happening to an extent. I think a lot of millennials um are choosing not to have children, and we already kind of see a little bit more of that. It's easier to isolate now. I think that it's more Gen Z that's affected initially, but I think it's a lot of it depends on the parenting of those children that are do end up being born. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that it changes the way people parent. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen both. I know people who are like definitely not having children or swear they're not having children, and then people who are using a tech as something they use, not a tool that uses them. So we shall see. I love books that diagnose and depict humanness. Yes, I understand. I've been seeing your shorts come up my feed. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, you're so sweet, Rue. I hope to do more. I don't know what other kind of content you guys would want to see from me in YouTube shorts, but you can let me know. Sounds good, Sean. Yes, I know. I have my big American water bottle right here. Thank you. Karen, my lucky husband is a top attorney in our community. I live behind gates. There you go. HOA Karen 2.0. That's actually an amazing what's it called? Avatar, if you will. Oh, thank you, Pollock. No, I don't think so. I'm practicing house dance. Sure. If that's what you want to do for work, absolutely. I won't yuck anyone's yum. Do you think kids are too shadowed by parents nowadays? They can be. I don't think that it's true for everybody, Duck, but I do think that it's easier for people to track their kids. Like my cousins that are in college and high school, like have Life 360 on their phone. So like their parents can track like where they are. But I think that's just like a good safety precaution because there's a lot of creepy people out there, as we know. Thank you, Kenna. I try to be. I'm not always nice, but we try, right? We all have our moments. Thank you, Pollock. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, I think that it's easier to track your kids, but I think that it's becoming hard because it's so easy for people to track their kids. I think that it's become harder for people to actually connect with their children. Um, No, I know, Minato. It's so different. I mean, in Asia, like in you guys wrote the book on shadowing. Um, it's a lot more strict, but I think in an obvious way, I can only speak to my experience. I think it's silly to think that I speak for the whole world when I say that, you know? So yay, countdown is over. I don't think that it's creepy, no. No, no. I'm going to run upstairs and go get a snack, and I will be back down in a minute. Okay. Mm, the healthcare question. Hey, TJ. Yes, it can be. So the way that it's set up is that everybody has something called a deductible. And so a deductible is the money that you pay before your health insurance kicks in. So, let's say you have a $500 deductible, you pay $500 across like any doctor's visit. So like let's say your eye exam is only 25. Um you pay $25 out of pocket. Then say you go to your regular doctor and say it's $100. Okay, you've paid now 125 towards your deductible. Anything after $500 your health insurance will cover. Um so yeah. Oh my god. Under the seat of your car is crazy. The fact that they were there, I love that. That's what I pictured, like right in between the driver's seat and the console. That's crazy. Thank you for letting me know. That's so cool. What do I say? Hey, CJ. I can't think of how I just do it. I don't think about it like intentionally. That's so funny. But yeah, for medical tourism, yeah, people will do that, especially to for cosmetic surgery. Um a lot of Americans travel to Turkey, allegedly. Mm, let's see. I wish nougat that was real. That would be great. Thanks, TJ. Start studying again. A lunar astronaut. I had a feeling. Hello, Sir Siddharth, the Duke of Waterford the 13th. Annette, thank you for gracing us with your presence 2 days in a row. I know dukes have many responsibilities. That's good. Yeah, we pay for private hospitals here, but our public hospitals are free. Don't, yes, that's amazing. I remember when I was in Spain, I got bit by a German Shepherd, and it was like just like a scratch, but it was just deep enough to like, okay, maybe we have to be concerned. And yes, they do a lot of duties. Um, I remember being like, oh, what do I owe? Like, what's the bill? And they were like, oh, there is no bill. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. um, but yeah, there's a lot of people who will, you can create like, I think in other countries you guys have Afterpay and Klarna and things like that that do like a pay in four, like installment plans. People will do that as well. But, I will say that I'm not necessarily condoning this, but just saying that there are people who will just go if they need medical care and then not follow through with any plans for their bill, if you know what I mean. Um it doesn't hit your credit, and if it goes into collections, which is a third party company that tries to get debt, an outstanding bill that you don't pay. Um It's technically what's called a HIPAA violation because you're legally not allowed to tell anybody else that you had a patient that was under your care, allegedly. What is that, Palak? Studying for 20 hours? God bless. You haven't slept? I don't envy you. You instantly became one color. That's kind of crazy. If that's a true story, that is actually pretty wild. I love watching things on a CCTV footage and all those types of things. I watch this channel on YouTube a lot called Chilling Scares. I also was watching Nightmare Feelings, but apparently something happened with his channel. Um, but Chilling Scares is good. They do a lot of like craziest things caught on CCTV, stuff like that. Hi, Mono. How are you? Chilling Scares, Mr. Mayor. Yes. Oh, I love that. Honestly, it's a pretty good like format to follow, like a pretty cool formula. He just had one. I was watching one last night while I was doing laundry. I'll watch them to fall asleep, which I don't know what that says about me. Yeah, good luck. I follow a woman who is a cosmetic surgeon. Well, she just finished her residency. Um, and you can follow her process, but like it's no medical school in the US is no joke. It is like you're in it for a long time, but then she'll leave, she'll graduate or when she does her she just got a job I think in Texas, somewhere in Texas. Heard she's doing a residency in Florida and her starting pay will be like 400,000 to 500,000 US dollars immediately like after she, starts her full surgeon's career. So you live like a peasant to live like a king not too long later. I mean, it feels long, I'm sure, while you're in it. Easy for me to say. It is 1 in the afternoon here. Is financial inequality a relationship killer? Can a relationship ever be truly equal if one partner is earning significantly more and holds the financial power? I think it depends. I think that financial inequality for a lot of people can be I don't know if the word's demotivator. Um, I think it can definitely cause issues. I think that it's smart for everybody to earn money in some place, in some way, some place, some time in their own way. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think as if you have trust in your relationship, then it can be helpful for sure. Like any good relationship. Yeah, it depends. I don't know about a relationship killer, but I think that a lot of times the relationship dissolves when like say there's like one spouse making all the money and someone that's spending all of it and not like considerate of um using that money wisely. I think you need to have the same it comes down to the same values for how the money is spent or earned. Theoretical physics, yeah, good luck. It makes sense, but I'm also like I see theoretical physics and my brain just goes to mush. I'm in the US. Homelander there. Yes, Homelander, there you go. Like to watch your videos late at night. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I think it's like the monotone voice. It's like really consistent. There's never any like jump scares in the video per se. Just like creepy. I don't know. I like creepy stuff. I love paranormal stuff. Yeah, right. I know what it takes. I want to be a heart surgeon. Yeah, good luck. I have a friend of mine previous friend, that's a cardiac surgical tech. So basically assistant to heart surgery. And oh my gosh, surgeons are funny too, because a lot of them have like a lot of ego here, in the US. Not all, but yeah, they like that they play God, so to speak. Those, we all know somebody like that. You're welcome. I also isn't one partner earning. Also, isn't one partner earning and the other is not the USP of humanity. What is USP of humanity before the last 70 years? I don't know what you mean. Or like the standard, like the man would go to work and the woman would stay home sort of thing. Like that was the standard. I'm not on Pinterest. Hi, Abuzar. I don't know what I'm gonna do cooking again. Unique selling point of humanity. I don't know. Hey, Tam. Yeah, I mean, for some people, I think that it just really depends on the individual and also like where being realistic. I was just talking about this to my husband earlier and how a lot of people really have a hard time, hey Swas, admitting where they are in life. And they don't like that they weren't they weren't born into wealth or they can't admit that they are, maybe an average person. I did get my caffeine. I'm due in a minute though. I'm probably gonna make some more coffee in the next 15. Yes, I was on early. I was at home here, obviously, and I was like, you know what, let me get on a little bit early. So, um, no, I live with my husband and my furry son, Benny. But yeah, I think it just depends on the dynamic of the household, the economy of the country that you're in, like what jobs are available, if there are people who enjoy sitting at home and, being a housewife. Like I definitely have a variation of that is my life and my personal experience, but um, I still work. I still have my own business too. Is it possible to change marriage laws in a country? It is. Yeah. Yeah, should marriage licenses expire? Would society be healthier if marriage is automatically expired? You know what's so funny is that I was just I think it's Sex in the City, that show that what's the show? And the guy talks about marriage. He thinks marriage should be contracts that expire. Oh no, it was actually real life. It was a reality TV show, and the husband cheated on the wife with like a 20 something year old. Mind you, this man's like in his 50s or 60s. I think he was in his late 50s at the time. And he was the one that said marriage should be like a contract that expires and you get to renew. I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I definitely think that it allows people to, um, you know, not feel quote unquote trapped for people who feel that way with marriage. But I also think that if you're a person that has had like shit happen to you in life, hi Ash. Um, then you just know that like life is really never as boring as you think that it is. I think a lot of people think that they're going to get married and forever and their life is going to be boring. And there's always things that happen that are unexpected. I am partially a housewife. Housewife is one of my many talents. um yeah, oh here's Benny. There's my baby. Oh, my coffee recipe? My coffee's pretty simple. I just do drip coffee like nor or I use a French press. Sometimes a Keurig, but usually a French press now. And then I just do whole milk. Pretty simple. If I want like an iced coffee, I make a coconut sugar, vanilla bean syrup, and then I use that over ice, sometimes a Cafe Bustelo espresso, to make a latte. But that's it. Yeah. Welcome back, Jorn. Hey, guy. He is. He's like, I'm free. I have my mom and dad to take care of me. Yeah, that's me when I was a baby. Yeah, 2 hour yeah. I can't set I have hard time paying attention for more than 45 minutes at a time. That is the average human attention span is 45 minutes. Aw, dog. What kind of dog is it? That's where you can hear my accent. A dog. A dog. Instead of a dog. You can't say it like that. A dog. Yeah, driving for more than 30 minutes. The longest I've driven for continuously was probably 4.5 hours, but that's it. I was once on a flight to Turkey for 11 hours and I was like, "Oh my god, never again." I was miserable. I don't know what that means, Gun Pot, I'm sorry. Coffee. Yeah, my coffee. My coffee. Coffee? I think I say it more normal. Coffee. I can't hear it. One day I drive, one day I sleep. God bless. Oh, Pomeranian. Oh, that's so cute. I love those. Hey, our Pete. Where did that go? Oh, there we go. Okay. Nice to meet you too. If it's an F1 race, I don't mind, but driving, yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people in New Jersey, like New York, they all drive like it is an F1 race. And now that the World Cup, oh God, I'm scared to drive. And our public transportation is awful. Like it's so bad. It's gonna be even worse. I'm nervous. Hey, show. Hey, Ozzy, welcome back. Looks like I have seen you in any movie or series. I don't know. Who do I look like? Luteal, oh my gosh. Luteal's the worst. That's like when I'm eating everything. Like I always eat like more and I need more protein, more like healthy fats too during luteal for sure. I do, Ozzy. Yes, of course. Welcome back. Yeah, I've gotten who do people say look like Anne Marie, the singer Anne Marie I've gotten most recently. That seems to be the general consensus, which I can see. I am, I know. I have my big American Stanley water bottle. I have witch energy. It's all the candles. All the candles. My first celebrity crush was Orlando Bloom from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know who that is, Jenny Kim. My favorite singer, I mean, I don't necessarily have one favorite. Who have I been listening to? I was listening to Billie Eilish recently, her song Bittersweet, like over and over again, and Chihiro. I like those two songs by her. Um, I like a lot of house music. I listen to a band called Punctual a lot, or yeah, band, I guess you could call them, a group. Yeah, it depends on the day. Sounds good, Ozzy. See you later. Yeah, Batman, I think so. The Batmobile. Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. That's cute. That's a cute joke. When someone says they're gonna tell a joke on YouTube, you never know whether you could trust it or not. That's always the conundrum. I do know Tate McRae, yes. There was a really popular so I have a lot of friends that would go and get a house down the Jersey Shore, Lord Voldemort, yeah, especially today. Um, I feel like Lord Voldemort most days, actually. Uh, but she was at this popular shore restaurant called the Parker House down I think it's considered Belmar, New Jersey, so I have a lot of friends that were like, "Oh my god, Tate McRae is in New Jersey." So, it's funny. I think she's dating a hockey player or something from New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken, and that's why she was down there. King Jong-un, yeah. I get that a lot, actually. I have Hey TV, I have an oil treatment in my hair, so the hair is staying up until I wash it. In order for it to look good down, it has to have a day or 2 where it's up. Her song Sports Car. Sports Car, yes, Sports Car. What song do I like by her? Revolving Door. That's the one that I listen to the most. And then You Broke Me First was like kind of what put her like on the map, so to speak. At least for me. Oh, yeah, that might be. Oh, thank you, TV. Likewise, you're so sweet. I look like Cinderella. Thank you. That's very sweet. That's interesting. Okay. Indian actress. Oh, that's so funny. I don't know. Mourning a life or career path you didn't take. I used to. When I left the arts and music industry in New York City, I was sad because it didn't become what I thought it was gonna be. But I made peace with it because I didn't feel like I felt like it ran its course. Like I got it out of my system, so to speak. I realized that sometimes what we think something is versus the reality of what the situation is can be two different things. And I think that's important to know. You know, I was young, I was in my early 20s, I was a recent college graduate, I was like super optimistic, and I still am in a lot of ways, but that I mourned. But my life itself, I never mourned like my actual life. Like there's, times where I'm like, oh, I wish certain things went a different way, but I never feel I'm a very, like, tenacious person. I'm definitely a go-getter, and I rarely take no for an answer, at least not the first time, right? Like, if it's a universal no, like, it's like, God, the universe being like, "No, you're supposed to go a different way." I know how to listen to that versus, like, people telling me no. I feel like the answer can always be yes if you make the right offer. So, that saves me a lot of, like, mourning or regret. But that's a really good question. Thanks for asking that. Yeah, TV. Let's see. Oh, let me see. Oh, I see what you mean for that his wife. Yes, that's so funny. Yeah, if I was Indian, that's who I would look like. Thank you. She's very pretty. TV. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Oh, please tell me something about your nostalgia experience regarding any cartoon you watched in your childhood. I love the show Hey Arnold, which is what I'll be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So about like this time. Um oh yeah, no, you're fine, Siddharth. I don't care. Um but yeah, I love the cartoon Hey Arnold. I'm a 90s baby, so Hey Arnold was a big one. Um I love Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is also why I love, like, paranormal stuff. If you guys know Courage the Cowardly Dog, he's, like, that little, like, purple dog. Um, but yeah, the father of TikTok. There you go, I love that. Yeah, I'm honestly not gonna watch anime. It doesn't hold my attention, and I don't like things that are, like, dubbed over. I'm not really a cartoon person. I did start watching, the show Dark, though, on Netflix recently. I'm rewatching the show Sex and the City, and I'm also rewatching Gilmore Girls. So, right now, it's not an actress, it was wait, did it get blocked? Hold on. What is it? Monish Bell? Monish? I don't know how to say his name. His wife? I could see that. Death Note. I'll think about it. Yes, I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'll consider it. I don't know if I don't like forcing myself to watch it. I feel like when I do watch something on TV, it's to decompress, and I don't like to have to think about something new all the time. So it depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I know that that's always like I'm not opposed to it. My husband watches anime, but it's just not my thing personally. Hello, hello, Sufi. Okay. 11 o'clock. Yes, it's almost tomorrow for you. I have seen Game of Thrones, such a disappointing ending. He did use AI first. I wish I had a computer like that. Absolutely. Courage the Cowardly Dog was funny. Yeah, you were little. Yes. Is there anything you've learned about yourself since using YouTube live sessions? Um, yeah, how far I've come in not taking stupid things personally. Like I really don't have that um like I don't react to everything people say, which I didn't realize was like something that I could do all the time, even though I just don't consciously think about being that way. But happy Tuesday, Amanda. But yeah, I think it just realizing how much that affected other people. I didn't know. But yeah. I know of Pokemon, but I didn't watch Pokemon. Thick skin, exactly. Like I always say, if someone comes on here and they're constantly telling me that my skin is green and I have a bunch of warts and I know that I don't, then why would I listen to them? And that sounds like such a funny way to describe it, but it is true. Aw, thank you, TV. Yeah. Skinwalker. We say flesh pedestrian instead of skinwalker. I don't know what you mean, sir. Yeah, of course, TV. You don't have to limit yourself to questions. I'll still answer them. Oh, how to choose between two wrongs? It would depend on what the wrongs are. No, I have no idea what that is, Siddharth. Jakarta, Indonesia. Hello. Yeah, I feel like I need more answers between the two wrongs. Like two wrongs don't make a right is a saying we have in English, but I wonder, I think it's the lesser of two evils, like what one is going to cause the least amount of pain, or like especially if you know that things are temporary. I know of Beyblade, but I never saw it. Nope, miraculous, no. Two wrongs are self-happiness and parents' expectations. I mean, I as an American that has parents who were not as like the bark was worse than their bite, if that made sense. I always chose my self-happiness because whatever my parents expected me, it's not going to make me happy. So, um, there's also a saying, expectations build resentments. And a lot of parents have children because they just want more versions of them in the world, or they want their children to make the choices that they couldn't choose for whatever reason. And that's not a good reason to have children. What's something interesting from someone you've learned on YouTube lives of your top three? So I don't actually watch other people's YouTube lives. I'm like, when I'm not on YouTube live, I'm not on, like, I'm filming content, I'm working, I'm hanging out with my husband, I'm, doing all my other things, but I don't actually watch YouTube lives. I'll watch YouTube like videos and have them on throughout the day. And mostly those YouTube videos are like nightmare feelings or chilling scares. Sometimes some astrology, like I'll watch some Lee Harris or Pam Gregory. Those are like the two spiritual YouTubers that I really follow on here, but I'm not really a consumer of content too much as a creator because I would get really like phone fatigued. But yeah, if I had to say like things that I've learned, I mean there's so much I've learned from YouTube. I feel like just how to be better at reading astrology transits, things like that. Oh, something I've learned from someone? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I think that I've learned a lot about like what people like to ask me that's like the things that I thought I was going to come to YouTube live for are completely different than the audience that I received. Not in a bad way, but it was just different than I expected. Like a lot of you guys from different countries and things along those lines, which I love. It's nice and refreshing because I sometimes also get tired of my fellow Americans. um and a certain mindset and culture that we have here. I like diversity. So I could say that, that would be one of the things I could choose. But most times it's like just a lot of people asking me questions and chatting, but nothing that like anyone has ever necessarily taught me. You've given me some good book titles. That could be another answer. If a high paying flexible dream job landed in your lap tomorrow, would you take it, or has this lifestyle fundamentally changed what you value most in life? Like a high paying, flexible dream job. What makes you think I don't have a flexible, high paying dream job now? That would be my answer, my question to your question. Um, yeah, if I choose self happiness, my parents, if you don't live with your parents and your parents aren't paying for anything that you do, you have to be okay with disappointing your parents. You live with two disappointments, either disappointing yourself, who you live with 24/7, or you disappoint your parents who are unfortunately but truly going to not be here one day, right? So like I would rather disappoint my parents than disappoint myself. But I have that's not a reality that most people are capable of accepting, and it did cost me my relationship with my mom, right? I don't have a relationship with my mom, but I'm okay with that because she's unhappy with her life. So if she's unhappy, that like we can't change people no matter how related they are to us or not. So like I'm always going to choose my happiness over anyone else's because it's the only happiness I can truly actually be responsible for. I'm okay with disappointing people if I'm not disappointing myself. This is called, an hourglass or a sand timer. Yeah. Who is your inspiration when you were lowest in life? I don't know if I could choose one person because I just knew that I had enough self-worth to live for myself. Like I knew that no one was going to come and save me and that no one was going to care about me as much as I cared for myself. So, yeah, exactly, Siddharth. It's true. Hi, Sunil. Welcome back. Yeah, Indian history. Yeah, I'm not in a nonfiction mood right now. I'm reading a lot of fiction, but when I'm ready to read about Indian history, I will. The closest I know to any of that is Gandhi. That's it. Um, I'm not getting the content. Could you please explain? I what part, Palak? Let me know. How my husband inspires me. My husband is very industrious. My husband works really hard for everything that he has, but he also knows how to have fun. Like my husband is laughing every single day. Um, he knows a good balance of working and playing. So that is really important to me. And he actually helped me to work less in a good way. Like to relax a little bit more. Okay, TV, yeah. Um, Yeah, as an interesting human experiment, both from my side and your side. It's true. Yes, it is, right? It depends. I mean, I don't like it depends on the types of conversations that people want to get into. It's like you can make this portal whatever you want, which I think is really cool. Oh, horoscope is based on your star sign. Thank you, Nameless. I appreciate that. This is from my in-laws gave this to me as a present. Yes, I was saying I always make the joke that I'm gonna do a husband unboxing one day. Why do you think you're cooked, Siddharth? Because of studying? There we go. Yeah, positivity and business skills, it's possible. I just don't think that every person like he's good at leading by example and he is a good teacher. But yeah, I think it depends on what exactly he would want to be taught. But also like he also doesn't have the pressure of his parents. Thank you, Levy or level. Um, hi Sam. Why does your eye color change according to your background? Is it blue or green? They're blue, but I always say they look more green when the wall is green behind me. Knowing what you know about yourself in general, anything you would tell your younger self, yeah, it's not like life doesn't have to be that serious. America. I was born and raised in America. Oh no, about to get one of those. Good luck. Good luck, sir. Yes, coffee. My school curriculum, I did go to private school for a little while. And then I went to public school. And their school, depending on the school or where you go, there's something here called Ivy Leagues, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But we have like Princeton and Yale and Harvard. Um, and if you want to get into one of those schools, excuse me, then your studies are really important. There's a lot of this if you go to private school, there's a lot of networking that also happens there. Really affluent, influential families who want to stick together with people of their kind, if you will, or just network, create more opportunities for their kids. But yeah, it just depends on like I took my studies seriously. I was a good student. I got straight A's for most of school and I went to a pretty good school. I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I went to a good school for university and I could have gotten my master's, but I didn't want to be in school anymore. Um, but yeah, but I wasn't like some of you guys are taking like, AP, whatever, calc and physics, where I didn't have to take those classes because I wasn't looking to go to school to be like a doctor or anything like that. There are a lot of people here that do want to be doctors, physicians, surgeons, high ranking whatever stockbrokers, business things along those lines, but there's a lot less universal pressure from parents and like you're not dishonoring your family if you don't do those things. We have a lot more freedom in choosing what career we can go into and that being respectable too. Um So, Neil, if you were given a single chance to use a portal to another world or time traveling, where would you go? And I can use it only once. If I could time travel, I would go back and stop the burning of the Library of Alexandria if I could. That I would love to do. That was my knee-jerk reaction without thinking too hard about it. I'm still in touch with my school friends. Yeah, one of my closest friends I stay with, one of my like middle school friends, which is like right after elementary school, I talk to almost every day. And then one of my other close friends from university, I talk to like once a month or so. I just went and stayed with him. He lives in Brooklyn, so I just went and stayed with him like a month ago. Peachy, oh, Pittsburgh, nice. My parents did study in India. Yeah. And if you're not paying for it, that's what makes it challenging. But if you were paying for it and you wanted to go, I would have gone anyway. It's a lot. Yeah, an engineer. That's right. Yeah. Took forever. I know. Thank you. I have a cozy home. I do pride myself in that. Hi, Trey. Welcome. Sigh. Yeah. I will be right back. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee. And then I will answer more questions. Like you can see my shadow before you can see me. Hey Ferrari, how are you? Oh, okay. I should have put a little note that said coffee break. Ugh. I asked this question of all my high school students. Almost all of them chose to return to childhood, but you're amazing. You chose unconventional, unexpected. Wow, you're visionary. Thank you. I feel that way. It's all my Aquarius. Do you have the same cup? It's from Target. I love that. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely more societal pressure or cultural pressure on in my Indian friends and the those of you that I know through here, you express how there's more pressure on you to make choices based on what your parents want. Where in America we have hello gorgeous, we have more of that type of freedom. Um, that's definitely I feel like a very American thing for the most part. Like as long as I was happy, my dad is always okay with like and I'm safe. Both my parents were okay with that. But yeah. So hi Savage. Hello, hello. Oh, you see it's oh you're sweet. Yeah, go say understand. Yes, you're sweet. But yeah, I noticed a lot of that too. Hi Minded. Welcome back. Yeah. He is right here. He's listening to the birdies. Wait, I'll show you. Yes, I was cold. What fears did you overcome growing up? How did you overcome them? It is coffee suck. What fears? I mean, there's a lot. I used to be a really anxious person. Like I was a really anxious kid. Just because I dealt with some like kind of dark things you could probably read between the lines for when I was a kid. Um, and so it made me very anxious, but I really learned how to advocate for myself, like, and really understand how to protect myself, but also how to not let anything negative in the past um happen, like make that change the way that I live my future and my present. Hi, Sheriff, how are you? I know I'll have to. Yes, I'm very blessed with my backyard. It's all woods. I have neighbors close by, but maybe once I actually do all my flowers and stuff in my backyard, I would do a stream out there, but it's just a matter of I have to do all my gardening. So, I'm a social introvert minded, so I feel like there is a balance between um if you're an introverted person, right? Like sometimes people call that shy, but you don't have to like make yourself feel bad about being a more introverted person. Like I'm social here, but like when I'm out and about just doing my thing, like I'm not like I don't need to talk all the time. But like when I'm live streaming, I feel like I'm hosting a study group or a party, so it's like my responsibility to like carry on a conversation or to like have a point behind what I'm doing. So, um yeah, I feel like if you're shy and it's costing you like relationships that you want to have, you can just practice with people who feel safe. People aren't as scary as you think that they may be sometimes, we're all human. So, yeah, you are mixed. Oh my gosh, what are you mixed? What's your mixedness? Um but I have not been stuck in a tornado. Tornadoes are common, but there is a specific location in the US called Tornado Alley where they mostly happen. So if this is the US, let's say, right, and this is Florida, and this is the East Coast, Tornado Alley is right about here above Texas, where Oklahoma is. My step grandma lived in Oklahoma, and she had a tornado shelter in her or whatever it's called, like tornado shelter, whatever, underground in her house. Oh, that's so cool, Afghani. Yeah. No, I know. There's a lot of naive people in the world that think a lot of stupid things, but don't let that upset you. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Shiv. I had a similar experience growing up. Yeah. Yeah, as you get older and you just know more about yourself, it helps to feel less shy or less anxious. And I pick my spots for where I talk to people, and when I do, when I don't. So, mhm. Policy, economics, and international relations. That's awesome. And find people that like to talk about those things. Oh, Oklahoma City, how cool. Yeah, my grandmother lived in Tulsa for a while. She passed away 4 years ago now. 4 years ago, I think, 3 or 4. Excuse me. Yeah, but that's it. That's I don't know too much about her because she wasn't my biological grandma. You were fasting today and decided to join me. Oh, that's so nice. Is it a religious holiday right now, or do you fast intermittently just to fast as like a reverence or variation of prayer? We feel more freedom when we're adults every day feels survival. Yeah, and I also think TV that's like you have to be brave enough to work through I want to say like learning how to have more courage, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma, yes. Um But yeah, I don't know. There's so much I could say about that TV, but I think a lot of your stress comes from trying to people please and please your parents. And it's good to have respect for your parents, but self-respect is also really important. And that creates a lot of stress, when you're trying to live somebody else's dream that isn't your dream. So of course you're not going to be happy, right? Your soul belongs somewhere else, Peter. I understand. I think that's because in reality it does. It really does. Yeah, I can't hurt anyone except myself. And listen, I mean, you have to understand that that's your choice. It doesn't feel like it's a choice, but it is a choice. What you don't change, you choose. That's a popular saying. But again, it takes some time to figure out how to do that safely for you. Doesn't mean that there's not pain involved. There's pain either way. Tomorrow is another Eid, so it's a rewarding. Oh, I love that. It's where they sacrificed an animal in the name of God to honor Abraham. That's so interesting. Thank you for letting me know that. That's so cool. Did you say heart surgeons are egotistic? They can be. Not all, but a lot of them are. Brain surgeons too. My dad has to see a neurologist who I love. She's a woman. And she's amazing. She was like, you're taking all these notes. Are you in the medical field? I was like, no. She's like, you should go be a neurologist because I'm the only one in the state that's a woman neurologist. They're hard to come by. Neurology is a very niche field, at least here, I guess. So Abraham was told to sacrifice his only son, a command from God in his dream, and almost carried out. Oh, interesting. The angel came down with. Oh, the sheep. Yes, I did hear that story. But like anyone in any discipline can be egotistical. They were criticizing me for not having friends. Yeah. I gave them my reply in the form of your name. You're like, I do have a friend, actually. I love that, Ferrari. Yes, we love that. Oh. Yeah, they're criticizing me. Yeah. And I would say, listen, like if you're in school, what time do you have to make friends, out in the world too? It's challenging when you're in school all the time. Everyone's tired. But I'm glad you could say me. I'm going through possibly ending 17-year. Oh, Peter. Yeah. Learning to love myself. Yeah. Reading has been a great outlet. I feel been burning others to keep yourself warm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Sposs. My dad will never get better. The condition that he has is a degenerative disease, so it he slowly deteriorates over time. He's stable, but like he won't necessarily be better. But thank you for asking. Oh, hiya. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know any the Afghan names like that. A Ferrari was a Ferrari. When in my life, it wasn't a matter of like I guess time, I mean, so maybe like 4 years ago, after a year of being with my husband, um oh, Arabic, okay. I'm so shy that I never had female friends. I understand. It takes time, and I think, a lot of people are, like, figuring a lot of things out simultaneously, and friendship and, like, true friendship takes forgiveness, and I think a lot of people write people off when they make mistakes, but every single friend that I have had for years that I still talk to now, we argued at one point, like, we got into some fights. There was one friend that I have now that I didn't talk to for 7 years, and we're back in each other's lives now, but that wasn't always the case. Um, and I can tell, like, TV, it's a feeling and it's more a feeling. You have to feel emotionally ready to be a partner to somebody truly. Yeah, I didn't know that, Ferrari. I know, that's so beautiful. I love that. When you have the government job, only then. Hi, Marco. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you asking, though. It's just, like, I have radical acceptance about it. Like, I accept that I can't change anything other than just make my limited time with him, whatever I have left, as enjoyable as possible for the both of us, you know? So, one day at a time. Yeah, we only then I think it's like a and it's a societal thing. Thank you, Zandy. My definition of love is more practical versus emotional. I think for a lot of men, it's definitely like a practical, it can be emotional as well, of course, but it's more of a practical decision. Certain behaviors that hurt my marriage. Yeah. Yeah. And I think honestly, like, acknowledging things is the and accepting your mistakes is the most respectable thing anybody can do. A lot of people don't like to apologize, but in real, like, authentic relationships, we always need to see where we play our part. And sometimes not everybody plays a part, right? Like, it truly isn't your fault, but I think we need to take a look at where, be humble enough, put our pride aside as well. It's important. But yeah, I'm glad you're working through that though. I never interacted or communicated with someone, never opened myself. I understand. And that takes time. Like sometimes I was just talking to my husband this morning about um there's a lot of pressure people put on themselves to feel like they have to accomplish something by a certain time, and him and I weren't like that. We didn't care how old we were when we met each other, married, got a house. Like we did things that just so happened to be like aligned with the ages that are like appropriate by society. But like if we couldn't buy a house until we were 50, but we were both, in a place where, we were working together, that's like, I think marriage requires true partnership. And a lot of people get married to people that they wouldn't be friends with, but they're fine being married to. And that's a big no, no in my book. Like, I would genuinely be friends with my husband even if we weren't together romantically. So, like, I genuinely enjoy and laugh with him every single day. So, that's important as well. But I think a lot of people get married because they feel like who's available at this time, you know? So, thank you. Thank you, thank you. My mom woke me up in the middle of sleep to eat dinner. No. I'm good, Paxton. How are you? No, because what happens, like, I think the biggest point I try to say, TV, did God let our hard work go in vain, is that God will also make things so hard for you when you're doing the wrong thing. So thinking that it's hard work is pushing harder when things are really difficult and they should be let go, I believe is also a sign from God. So, when things God doesn't look to make our lives difficult necessarily on purpose, but it's more so, you can insert God, Allah, the universe, whatever you believe in. Like I know that when things are really challenging and I'm trying to force it too much and it's not flowing, then it's me trying to play God. It's not me listening to God. So when I take the time to pause and step away and say like why is this so challenging, because it doesn't make sense if this is really a blessing that I was given, it allows me to assess whatever it is that I need to do correctly and how to reassess and strategize for the right situation. This is The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. It's the legend of Aphrodite and her birth. Having food. Yeah, there you go. I know, and it's like, listen, like, me being born in America was just the luck of the draw. I had a my great-grandmother was supposed to come over on the Titanic, and her sister ended up having a baby in Ireland, so she ended up staying, and I always think about, like, how if she was on the Titanic because she was, like, they were poor. She was, like, bottom, I think bottom or maybe 2nd class, if that, but I highly doubt it. Um, I may not even be here. So it's really crazy. That's why, like, my friends will be like, "Come on a cruise ship." I'm like, "I don't know if I wanna test my luck going on a cruise ship." Even though there's no icebergs on the cruise ships I would be going in, I would wanna go to the Caribbean. But I'm like, I don't know if I wanna test my lineage and ancestors being on a boat. I started seeing her perspective. Understood no matter what, I truly felt actions and words matter. Yeah, absolutely. I never got a chance to explain or at least improve. Yeah, some people just have like their personal breaking points and we need to respect that. Sometimes it's too late, you know. I plead the fifth in the state. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's smart, Siddharth. That's very Duke of Waterford the 13th of you. As much as I respect her decision, I'm scared to think and answer what's next. Yeah. The identity definition is a blank slate. So up to me to draw the picture. I like that though. At least it is, as much as it can be a somber feeling, it feels expansive. 26, yeah. Um who went, oh, my great grandmother was supposed to come over on that Titanic on my mom's side. My parents' family was or my dad's family was already here, but my mom's dad's mom was supposed to come over on the Titanic, but her sister had a baby. Sister had a baby? Reminds me of the little shrimp from Ratatouille. And she stayed. So she skipped the Titanic and came over. I want to say I found her immigration papers upstairs because my dad had did all the genealogy research back in the early 90s and 2000s. That was my dad's like hyperfixation. Not I mean, technically, so when the Titanic was supposed to leave, her sister had a baby right when she was supposed to like, not like the day that the Titanic was she was supposed to get on the Titanic, but it was sometime around the departure date, and, way back then, they didn't exact you could go in now you can go in and plan the date that you're gonna give birth with the scheduled C-section. That didn't exist, however many years ago that was. So, they didn't know exactly when she was gonna give birth, but she ended up giving birth to, let's see, that would be like if that was my great grandmother's niece, like a great aunt of mine, let's say. But she wanted to stay to help her sister when she first had the baby, so she skipped the Titanic. And good thing she did because I wouldn't be here if she got on the Titanic and didn't make it. But yeah, I'm Sunny. Hello. I am from the United States. Never mind, I'm not writing that message again. Oh, I understand. Hi, Oi. Yes, I'm from the US. Yeah, the Titanic only had one voyage. So it really was God's plan. Absolutely. What's the difference you found in America of 2010 versus America in 2026? So 16 years ago, I was in high school. Um, Hi, Solomon. Welcome. Welcome back. And I think that there were a lot more people were a lot more optimistic. Jack and Rose, yeah. Jack and Rose, based on a true story, obviously. Jack and Rose weren't real. Um, but yeah, so if my great grandmother went on the Titanic to finish that story, I would not be here because she probably wouldn't have made it. Thankfully, she did. I have a picture. I actually have a picture of her. Hold on. This was at my great grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. So this is the one that was supposed to come over. Sorry, the reflection. This is the one that was supposed to come over on the Titanic. This is my grandpa. This is his parents and then his sisters and his brother. So, she was supposed to come over on the Titanic, but they immigrated through Ellis Island eventually. It was April, whatever the following April was. I know April was because it was right around her birthday. But that's how you could tell that my family's Irish. I know, isn't that crazy? I like it's funny because I don't think about that story that often, but there's a lot of stories like that about 9/11 here in the US, and I have so where I grew up, there was a lot of people that would commute into New York City because my family only lived like 45 minutes outside of Manhattan. So a lot of people would live in the suburbs and then commute into the city. And so um the 9/11, I was in my private school and it was like up on a hill, and I remember like being in school and the church bells were ringing because it was part like a religious school, and not Catholic, but I forget, we didn't have to wear uniforms, but whatever. But it was like 9 o'clock in the morning and we just started school and the bells were ringing. And I remember my teacher being like, what are like, why are all these like bells ringing? And then I remember not hearing anything about it and then leaving school and then seeing the smoke like in the air and being like, oh my gosh, what happened? And my dad worked in the city at the time, but he worked in Brooklyn, which is the borough. For those of you that don't know, there's five boroughs of New York City. The Twin Towers were in Manhattan, and then Brooklyn is right across. So when you're driving on the BQE, which is the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, you can see Manhattan. And he had called my grandma, who was retired at that time, and was like, do you know what's happening? Because he was driving to work, and at that time like cell phones and social media wasn't a thing then. So, yeah, there's a lot of like random, like when you live kind of like, close to the city, there's a lot of like crazy facts, like a lot of people have like statistically just more of a propensity of things happening like that. But yeah, I'm very lucky that I'm here. Um, I know it's very clear, isn't it? It was a professional camera. That was their 50th wedding anniversary. I mean, my grandpa, I don't know how long my great grandparents were together. I know, so my grandfather was drafted at 18 into World War II. He had a full ride scholarship to play football because he was a really good football player, but he got drafted and then came back um, after the war ended or whenever he came back. I actually don't know that full story, and they're gone. So I don't know. I could ask my uncle. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of like stress in that side of my family. A lot of, I mean, anyone that's an immigrant to any country knows, or anyone that's been, has family has been touched by war. There's a lot of stress, but yeah. Oh, but I wanted to go back to answer TV's question about the 2000s versus 2016. I think people were also pre-lockdown. My grandfather was a veteran. Yeah, both my grandfathers actually. But my that grandpa, who's my mom's side, was actually in more of the war, where my grandfather was going to be in the Korean War. But then because he lied about his age, and he was actually too young to enlist, he was only 15, and he was like, "Oh no, actually, like I'm too young. I don't want to go." Like he enlisted, and then the war, they were getting drafted to go over like it was like the next day. And he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going. I'm actually 15. I'm too young for this." And they're like, what happened?" And he was like, I'm scared." So he outed himself as lying. But yes, Angelo, my family has historical ties to the Titanic. Exactly. I am married. Um, 2010s versus 2026. So the world is more optimistic. We have something called millennial optimism. It was much easier to just get an interview somewhere. Now it's harder for people to get an interview in most places, um, for a pay that actually equates to like a living wage. Um, there's different, I think that life is truly, now we're realizing life is truly what you make it. I think that with technology, we are the guinea pig generation that like are all of us that exist right now. I don't mean just like millennial generation, but Siddharth, my Gen Alphas, my Gen Zers, like my Gen X's, like all of us that are here right now are really learning how to use social media as a tool that we use, not a tool that uses us. And so that is part of what we're figuring out. And we're in the messy middle of trying to figure out how to reclaim our own sense of joy and confidence and autonomy that was almost kind of like naturally given to us in the early 2000s. That's at least my short but sweet perspective um about it. Oh, I've already it's because you were here. I thought you were here minded. It's The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. But I get that question so many times that it's just exhausting to try to repeat it again and again. And it's easily Googleable too. Um, I think we both came together. We were more crutches. Yeah, I understand. They call it a trauma bond now. That's the therapist word, the trauma bond. The true partnership. We loved each other, but people change and acceptance is key. It's true. Yeah, like you said, she chose herself versus us. Yeah, I understand. Painful, but at least you have an understanding around it. I wasn't born, but I could tell how the US must have felt when a plane crashed. Yeah, exactly. I can hear noises in my head. Yeah, cool. Well, because nobody knew why it was happening. And that was what was scary. Like there was no, we knew as US citizens, as Americans, excuse me, there is like we don't have that sense of war ever happening here. Like there's never really a fear that war will happen on our soil because our military is so strong. Like it's one of our strongest assets. They say, what did they say? Good offense is good defense, right? So it's kind of like almost following that philosophy. So that was the closest that it ever came to any type of, big W word happening on our soil. So I think that's why for a lot of people it was very like, oh, like what is happening here? Whereas like, in a lot of other places, probably some of the places that you guys are tuning in from in the world, like that's not that's it's more of a fact that you live with on the average day that we don't really have here, which is really interesting. Um Googleable. Yeah, there you go. My husband he's on a work call upstairs. Yahoo Messenger exactly in my space. That is true, Tejas. We shall see. But I think that, there's a lot that we don't know and the powers that be are more um as incompetent as some people may seem on social media or online. There's a lot of other things that happen behind closed doors that the average person doesn't know about. So, yeah, geography defines your destiny. It's true. That is very true. It at least defines like your predisposition. But I do think, thank you, TV. I do think that, if you have the right amount of tenacity in a lot of places, you can find places to get out of your situation. Also, I encourage you to look at, for those of people who haven't, to look at a true map. And I don't mean like the world is flat instead of round. I mean like truly looking at a map of like that's actually to scale. So you realize the size of Russia is not always as true to scale all the time, nor the US, which is interesting. And everyone just wants to know that they have the big N word, but not always, I don't know. And at the end of the day, like for me as a human, I'm going to try I always do my best to be informed as a citizen of the world, but I don't let that make I don't make that I don't run with the fear of anything. It's not worth it. What am I going to do, I'm glad. Good afternoon. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. Siddharth, good night. Yes, the world map minded exactly. Understanding and empathy has been lost in general. Yeah. If we get back a lot, if we get it back, a lot of the issues today might go towards solutions and just stagnation or deterioration. It's true. And I think that's why like a lot of us enjoy each other's company here. Like this is a very like I try to be as objective as possible, like even just understanding that people speak in a different way and um I don't I have my healthy boundaries, but I'm not somebody that chooses to always see the bad in people first, and I think that's important. And I think most of us are like that, that you guys that are my regulars, so to speak, at the Brenna Cafe, as we have coffee together, are the ones that choose to, still participate in empathy and understanding, even if that's not the general consensus all the time. Yeah, Richard British yeah. Yeah, and Tejas, I'm like, I believe that they say that. I also believe that, like, I know that as the US, we say that we went to the moon. Did we go? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there's people can say anything, but that doesn't always make it true. And that also has to do with politics as well. I know that there's a lot. I mean, look at how advanced AI. Remember, a year ago we could tell things were AI because of hands, and now we're like things look so real. I just think that it's really important to question everything that you see and everything that people say, and not always take things at face value. But to also not let that be the reason you live in fear, like still allow yourself to experience some variation of joy, but that's a learned skill. It's not natural to the human condition in general. Right now, I'm drinking Starbucks Pike Place coffee, but I will also drink Cafe Bustelo. 8 o'clock brand was another brand of coffee I used to drink. They don't have the fresh beans like they used to. Sometimes I'll drink like Kirkland brand, Costco, things like that. How much does America respect judiciary? Um, from what I know, because I'm not a politician, I think that in general, things can be changed by people who have a lot of money. I think if you have money in a capitalistic world, or there's that term, money makes the world go round. I think that there are a lot of people who can buy their way into things. Um, yeah. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to say about that, but that I think is the short and sweet point. So many conspiracy theories around the moon. Yeah, it's so true. Exactly. We'll never really know what happens beyond this public world. Exactly. So takes time. I do have heard the bottle of water. The moon is flat. I know that the moon isn't real. The moon is just a balloon in the sky. But no, like I like hearing a bunch of different perspectives, and I am somebody that has become okay with certain things becoming unknown, but I don't like live my life in tinfoil hatland all the time. I try to have a good, I think balance is what we all want, right? So like a good balance of entertaining different ideas, but I don't let that take me out of my own reality, which is here, my world in my house with my cat and my husband, and what I can do with where I am right now. Honestly, honesty shouldn't be confused with being disrespectful. That's true. You can explain yourself and stick to your beliefs while not disrespecting others. That is very true. That is very, very true. Once you start name calling and putting people down, you lose all credibility. And meet Kitty, yes. UFOs, yeah, I actually have to look into that, minded. Like they released you should there's plenty of British people, Zoya, that you can find. I'm not British, so I'm not gonna be able to do a good British accent. But they did say there was some like UFO released footage or something. But listen, I always say this, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. It just means that we don't know what's in the sky. However, that could be like someone, other government's technology. Like that doesn't have to mean that it's like UFO doesn't always equate to aliens. Um, before I knew what the Starlink satellites were, I was like, "Oh my god, this UFO. Like, what is that?" I don't know what that is, but my mind didn't immediately go to like aliens, like that meme. Um, but I said this on an earlier live. Like, I do believe that there are other life forms out there. My husband and I actually just watched on Sunday night. We watched the movie Nope. I don't know if hi, you're Tom. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Nope. It's the Jordan Peele, basically like UFO movie. And UFOs are real. There are things in the sky that we have seen and have been tracked that we don't know what they are. Does it necessarily mean that it's aliens? No. Um, it's giving Chinese weather balloon, if you guys remember that blip in the radar. um, so yeah, just things there are things out there that we don't know what they are. Could they be alien UFOs? Yes. Could they also be UFOs that we just don't know as American people that maybe other governments do? Probably also yes. Actually, I think so. My perspective is we actually made human discover gravity. Okay, but how can a man calculate the distance from Earth's surface to the moon if we measured any planet's difference? That is true. Like, how would we know how far it actually is or actually takes to get there? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess because they were historically speaking, like what is it, Nostradamus or whoever else, Michelangelo, I forget now, would track, try to track, but unless you've actually done the flying in the distance, like how do you know how much fuel you need or what the atmosphere is gonna do? I think of those things too. Publishes his research paper, and I read all of them. That's cool. I love that. Deep ocean creatures are still undiscovered. Yes. And a matter of research to be done. Well, did you know that NASA was first tasked to discover the oceans and then they stopped and decided to leave to space because of whatever they found? So that's always an interesting trivia question. NASA though was first their task or whatever the initial founding. I don't know if it was called NASA at the time, but that group was first tasked with um deep sea exploration. Christian perspective, UFOs are real. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, demons, aliens, you could maybe can they be synonymous? Maybe. All these calculations of moon distance were already written in Indian. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and I see like that's where like when there's a lack of education about cross-cultural disciplines, we lose out as a society. And that division isn't always unintentional. Even a little insect from another planet, it's true. I don't know why aliens always think that aliens have to yes, exactly. I think because it's fun to think that they're humanoid. I think people like to creep ourselves out. And we also are egotistical as humans where we believe that of course aliens look like us. Why wouldn't they look like us? You know? A Brenna planet. We've I guess created our maybe I'll make that my next live tomorrow. Welcome to Brenna's planet. Where the world is peace. To some extent, we still don't know how much about our Earth. That's true because we can't manage to survive the deep ocean pressure. Yes. RIP the Titanic submarine. But we have that technology, autonomous systems like robots and stuff. That's true. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. Hi, Palak. Welcome back. Hey, Tupac. How are you? Parallel world theory? No. Like that is it kind of like the multiverse concept in Marvel where there's like other universes where we're like, what is it? The space-time continuum? I always forget like the names of that. I don't find any theory supporting or calculating exact calculation to reach any planet, and it just is what we are shown. We never have seen the spaceship, whether that's real. Yeah, that's exactly. You're so right. It's so true. And I think like think about in your day-to-day life, like there are people who lie all the time. And so when you can't even take the average person's word at face value, can you really take anyone's? Right? Like I think there's like not to say that we shouldn't trust people, but I'm always looking past people's words and looking at their actions. Like what motivates this person to make me believe this thing, right? Like it's that kind of critical thinking, analytical thought that's important. Yeah, fish, was caught, which is centuries old. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, lobsters are immortal. Like we kill them to eat them, but lobsters will live forever. You were just living your same life on another planet. Oh, that's interesting. Creation of planet is not Mr. God nor human Earth. It's just balancing the dark. I don't really know what that means. Yeah, my makeup routine. I did my makeup yesterday on live, so if you watch my live stream from yesterday, you'll see my makeup routine. Sometimes I do a get ready with me. I wish in my parallel worlds I have cleared yeah, I know. Well, if you believe it, you can do it. Thank you. I don't wear makeup because I feel ugly without makeup. I just wear makeup because it makes me feel like, "Oh, I'm ready for the day." It's like a ritual to prepare me. Hold on, my mom just told me, "Who's this girl you FaceTime every day?" Hold on. Thank you. I promise, mom, I'm a normal person. I'm not a creep on the internet, of which there are many, but I pride myself in not being one. That is something we know to be true. Thank you. You guys are sweet. You're equally as sunshiny. What's your opinion about immortality and man-made babies? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just don't think we need to mess with nature. I don't like the idea of I mean, I know like IVF, I guess, is a part of that. Um, but I don't know, immortality, I think that we would I just don't think it we as humans would even know what to do with ourselves. And I think it would you have to have the right mindset to be immortal. That's why there's so many books about being immortal, fictional books. Yeah. Where are we? At the 1 or 2 hour and 33-minute mark. Um, what is air quality. Yeah. Yeah, it's I we don't really have to we don't think about air quality here. Like a lot of you guys that live in India always mention the air quality and it's because you have to think about it for your health whereas here like we don't have to think about it. 3 years ago there was a really bad wildfire in Canada and it was so bad that I don't know if you guys saw it on the news. It made our air quality here really bad. And it was like the sky was orange because the pollution from the fire and the smoke was so bad here and we had to go outside with masks and even to go outside it was hard to breathe because just walking the air was so thick with pollution, like air pollution from those fires, and that was like the closest we ever got. But like when you're outside of New York City you can see the smog around it, and the pollution. um but yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I did like about lockdown where like we weren't allowed to drive our cars and like had to be inside. And like within 3 days, like the air quality was like exponentially good. I actually wish that they like kept lockdown as a thing. Like we had to do lockdown every few like months or something, like for a week or like, we had like ARB days where we could go outside, but I wouldn't mind that. I loved lockdown. Like my life didn't change that much at the time. Obviously there are a lot of more morbid stories from other people, but I as an introvert, a social introvert, that was like my dream. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It's like when it rains or the weather's bad, I'm like, "Nice, a good excuse to stay home." I don't feel like my outdoor day was wasted because it was nice. Yes, the forest fire, yeah, or there's been a couple forest fires, there's a lot that happened in California. Demographic dividend is going to drop America's young population. What does that mean, demographic dividend? Is it not against the female experience of experiencing the biggest gift? I mean, I think that we can be fulfilled without having to experience pregnancy or motherhood, but I do feel like they're like, anything we could experience. It's like a job. Like, oh, I could have taken that job, but I didn't. I just think it's fascinating that we as women can give birth to human life. Like that feels like we're aliens in and of itself when you really think about it. It's kind of crazy. Clear my confusion. I had an emotional crisis rage stuck in my mind, but now it feels like stability and not feeling chaos. Is that I'm healed or depressed and that I don't want anything? I think that you are somebody, if I had to guess, hi Ashwani, um, Tupac, that actually a lot of people thrive on feeling chaotic. And when they feel peaceful, they mistake peace for depression because that's a buzzword that the internet loves to throw around. Or like you think peace is the lack of feeling anything. And so you're right at that age where you're like learning that like feeling at peace or having calm in your life isn't depressive. It's like there's nothing wrong with you for not being in a heightened emotional state, but there are a lot of people that are addicted to feeling that like they think that feeling anger or frustration means that they are feeling passionate. which two things can be true, but don't mistake peace for depression. That can be a misconception. I think it's just you are stable and you're not used to having time to think clearly without you're in a place where you can respond to something. Hi, Daniel, instead of reacting to something. And that's a big distinction. Hi, Vicky. What about Trump's plan to capture Canada? Are you fine with it? I mean, come on, that's never going to happen. And I didn't even know that he said that because I don't pay attention to most things that politicians say. I just pay attention to policies when I have to vote, and that's it. So, do you want to be in prison and go to wait outside of the box in prison? Neither. Neither. Yeah, lockdown isn't like I don't it sounds like you were not in America because we were still allowed to go outside and like go to parks and do things like that. I look like a wax statue. Thank you. Maybe I am a talking wax statue. I don't know. Is America really the epicenter of technology? I would think that that would be like Asia, like China. What's your opinion about pregnancy as a female? Oh, is it really a burden as a gift? I mean, I've never been pregnant, so I wouldn't know fully. But I think that if you have the proper support and finances, then it's not going to be a burden. But like that's the thing. Like when you're like a 16-year-old that gets knocked up by some like your random teenage boyfriend or a one night stand, that's you're making your life more difficult. Have people done it and had successful lives during and after? Yes, but it is directly correlated to the amount of support and money that you have, you know? Oh, fertility demographic dividends means fertility rate of America is the lowest, old age population increasing. Yeah, a lot of people are choosing not to have kids. Knocked up is a pretty better. I mean, it's true. I haven't worn an Indian sari outfit. I haven't had a reason to. Thank you for answering, Swas. Um, I'm good, Ashwani. How are you? Citizenship by birth. What is that exact? I mean, like I have citizenship by birth because my parents are American, or is that when people like illegally immigrate to a country and then they have their kids here so that their kids are American citizens? I want to make sure I got the definition correctly. Um, were you taught about the history of Native Americans? We are. You didn't have to apologize for that. Your own basketball team? Well, if kids suck, don't have children. Don't have 12 killed kids that you don't want to be here. Kids can tell. One night stands and random casuals the worst thing to do. Yeah. I think that people don't realize like how much of like experiences like that are spiritual experiences and they like to not think about it. But I think that it's important to realize like who you're with at every level, you know? Hi from India. Hi BGM. You are yourself was reason to wear. Thank you. But it's not like culturally appropriate for me to wear it if I don't have a reason to. Like it would be if I was in your country as a sign of respect, but it on live it doesn't make sense. Physically demanding. It's true, of course. Yeah, I know. I it's kind of crazy that a lot of people do it. I do have my background music on, but it was funny because I went upstairs because my husband was testing why it was glitching the other day, and we've been good, right? I deleted the app and reinstalled it, so that seemed to help, like, unplugged it and plugged it back in again. I'm actually 7 feet tall. You were close, though. But I couldn't hear the background music, so the background music is on, but I don't know, sometimes I guess it just doesn't pick up on YouTube for whatever reason. I'm only gonna be on for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna do my workout. I used to play the clarinet, and I really wanna learn how to play the drums before I die. No, I know. I was just asking 7 feet is crazy, I know. I couldn't help myself. Sometimes if it sounds funny, I'll just respond that way. Do I believe in Hinduism? Yes, I believe that Hinduism is real. Do I practice Hinduism? No. That's like I feel like it's like asking, do I believe in the sky? I know the sky is there. Do I have a relationship with the sky other than anybody else? Not really, you know? Yeah, I'm a little shorter than 6 feet. I'm tall for a woman, like, I'm taller than most of my friends, but I'm not 6 feet tall. When I have heels on, I am. So you can guess in between. But I am a professional astrologer, and I also do business development strategy. So for people who are looking to start their own businesses, entrepreneurship, I've done grant writing. I used to work as a talent manager, so I'm close to 5'9", a little lower. I'm right between 5'7" and 5'8". I know. I think that well, the average height of a woman is 5'4", but all of my grandmothers were tall. Nice, 6 foot, yes. What religion you trust the most, or are you atheist? I just default to Christianity because that's the religion I was born into, which I think is how most people feel. Yeah, 21 to 27. Yeah. They say that, Tejas, but there's because our lifespans have changed and the progress of modern medicine, that's not necessarily true anymore. They 34 isn't the cutoff always for geriatric pregnancy. Yeah, you can ask a religious question for sure. The tallest girl in the friend group, exactly. Yesterday, the lucky cards. Yes, I'll do it again tomorrow. I ran out of time today because we started talking and having different conversation, but I'll do the cards again tomorrow, Vicky. Yeah, selfie. There you go. I'll be taller. There you go. I've never been to India, but I would love to go. I have read a lot of history regarding Catholics and Protestants. Who won the final battle? I think Catholics, but it depends on where you're talking about. I'm confused about my career to some extent. Oh, you were asking what you're oh, so we're about the same height. What about your career? Like what you want to do for work? Because you're young, so you would technically be in school or taking a gap year. I played American like we call it soccer here, but football I've never played. I really like flag football though. Yeah, Netherlands, yeah. For an American girl, I'm kind of tall. It just depends on where you go. But yeah. Okay, guys, I am going to head out for the afternoon. I'm gonna finish my coffee, get some lunch, and then go do a little walk, and my little workout for the day. But I'm glad I got to spend the afternoon with you guys. Thank you for hopping on with me a little bit earlier today. Swas, Vicky, Tejas, TV. Um, oh my gosh, whoever else is here. Minded. Vicky, I think I said that so nice. I said it twice. But I will be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye, Minded. Thank you.